You know, in 1975, when I was a young child, or 1975 NHL season, the Washington Capitals, an expansion team, were terrible. They barely made it through the first season. Michel Bellemare, one of their key goalies in his career with Washington, never even won a game in the NHL. And in 1993, 92-93 season, with expansion, Ottawa Senators, they were a terrible squad that year, losing, again, countless games. I think they lost 70. But what's happening with the Chicago White Sox this year is kind of bizarre because it doesn't really match the era of the franchise. Chicago White Sox have been a big part of baseball for almost 125 seasons, but this year the Central squad in the American League is on pace for probably a 130 loss season. Currently, well, not 130 losses, but pretty close, maybe 126. They're currently 31 and 104, and they're 4-20 this month. Now, this season has been terrible, and it's obviously, ironically, that it's the club's 125 season in Chicago. They're 124th in the American League and the 34th at guaranteed rate field. It is their first full season under GM Chris Getz. Now, the White Sox failed to improve upon their 61-101 record from the previous year, with their 102nd loss coming on August 28th in the first game of a doubleheader against the Rangers. The team began the season with a 3-22 record, marking the poor start in franchise history. On June 6th, following a 14-2 defeat to the Red Sox, the White Sox established a franchise record for most consecutive losses at 14. On July 4th, following a 9-4 defeat to Pittsburgh Pirates, they established a new MLB record for the highest number of losses before the All-Star break, a stinky 71. Now, the franchise record for consecutive losses was broken again on July 29th, when the Sox dropped their 15th straight game, losing 8-5 to the Kansas City Royals. The streak continued on August 5th. The White Sox lost their 21st consecutive game, falling 5-1 to the Oakland Athletics. This marked the first time since the '88 Baltimore Orioles that a team endured a 21-game losing streak. However, they managed to break the streak the following day with a stunning 5-1 victory over Athletics. Additionally, the Sox became the first team since the 2021 Baltimore Orioles to go through two separate losing streaks of 14 games or more. Furthermore, they set the record for the quickest assurance of a losing season by losing 82 of their first 109 contests, surpassing the 2003 Detroit Tigers, who lost 82 of their first 111 games. Now, on August 8th, the White Sox dismissed manager Pedro Grifol. Grifol, of course, is a brand name for toast in Canada, dried toast, following a 28-89 record at the start of the 2024 season. Now, under Grady Sizemore, who was their interim manager, they've only won 3 games while losing 15. Now, on August 17th, with their loss to the Astros, the White Sox became the first team to be eliminated from playoff contention in 2024. Now, as of this presentation, which is August 29th, across North America, the futility continues to a level where people are not even covering the White Sox anymore. Now, the loss to the Astros surpassed the 2018 Baltimore Orioles for the earliest playoff exit since the divisional era began in '69. 8 days later, one day before my birthday on August 25th, the White Sox became the fastest team since the '16 Philadelphia Athletics to lose 100 games in the season when we lost to the Tigers, dropping them to 31 and 100. And of course, they lost 4 more games since then. Now, I think where everything happened wrong, and this is just a curse. Aaron Bummer, what a name, was traded by the White Sox to the Braves in the start of the 2003-2004 offseason for right-handed pitcher Michael Soroka, and at this writing, he's 0-10. Now, in the regular season, of course, July 29th and 30th was big trade deadline deals. On July 29th, the White Sox made a three-team trade and traded Michael Kopech to the Dodgers and pitchers Eric Fedde and outfielder Tommy Pham to the Cardinals for third baseman Miguel Vargas, infielder Alexander Albertas, infielder Yael Perez, and the player will be named later for the Dodgers. On July 30th, White Sox traded outfielder Eloy Jimenez for cash considerations to the Orioles for left-handed pitcher Trey Maga. White Sox also traded left-handed pitcher Tanner Banks to the Phillies for infielder William Bergolia. White Sox also traded infielder Paul DeJong to Kansas City for right-hand pitcher Gerald Rosado. Now, ironically, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Pillar, the former Blue Jay, was in the lineup, the opening day starters this year, and ironically, that's how it goes. Now, as of this writing, ladies and gentlemen, they are, get this, 18-51 at home, 13-53 on the road. So here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. They have 69 games at home. They're going to play 66. They all play 66 on the road. So the beatings will continue. I think they're going to top out at 127 losses, but you let me know. Right now, they're 45 and a half games out of first place. Cleveland leads with 76-58. And the wild card, they are 42 games out behind Minnesota, which is the last one at 72-61. Now, the record versus opponents, ladies and gentlemen, we're just talking the American League. Who do you think they did their best against this year? Cleveland and Tampa Bay. They're 5-5 against Cleveland and 4-2 against Tampa Bay. But get this, they're winless against Baltimore, 0-4, 2-2 against Boston, 5-5 against Cleveland, 1-9 against Detroit, 2-4 against Houston, 1-12 against KC. They haven't played LA Angels yet. 1-12 against Minnesota, 1-5 against the Yankees, 1-2 against Oakland, 1-6 against Seattle, 4-2 against Tampa Bay, 0-6 against Texas, 1-5 against the Blue Jays, and you have an overall National League crossover record at 11-29. Now in March, April, they went 6-24, 5 big wins at home, with an away record of 1-13, so 6-24. In May, they were 9-19 with 5 wins at home, 4 on the road. 9-19 again in June, consistent at least. 6-8 at home and 3-11 on the road. And here it comes bad, ladies and gentlemen. So far, July and August, the month's not done yet. 7-42, 2 wins at home, 5 wins on the road. And like the old saying, Bull Durham, I can get us a rain out. Lost the first 4 games of the season. Went 0-4, then went 1-7, then went 2-9. Terrible. Now, like I said, no, excuse me, I said that wrong. In August, my apologies. In March and April, again, they won 6-24. They did open the season with a 4-game losing streak. Then bet the Braves. Of course, the next night was rain out, the Bull Durham rain out. Then he went out to lose 5 straight, beating the Gardens again. Then they lost 6 straight with 1 rain out. And then where it happened again, they lost 7 straight before winning 3 straight against the Rays. That's the only good part this month. But we're going to look at July. Do we have to? But we will. Now, they won 2 of their first opening 4 games of the season. The month. Then he lost 3 straight to the Marlins, knocked off the Twins, and this is where it got freaky. In the losing streak, 3-2 to the Twins, 4-1 to the Pirates, 6-2 to the Pirates, 9-4 to the Pirates, 7-1 to the Royals, 6-1 to the Royals, 4-1 to the Royals, 4-3 to the Rangers and 10, 3-2 to the Rangers, 10-2 to the Rangers, 2-1 to the Rangers, 10-0 against the Mariners, 10-0, 6-3 against the Mariners, 6-3 against the Mariners, 8-5 against the Royals, 4-3 against the Royals, 10-3 against the Royals. Then lost 10-2 to the Twins, 6-2 to the Twins, 13-7 to the Twins, 5-1 to Athletics before the miracle 5-1 victory where Cannon won the second game in the campaign. Ironically, ladies and gentlemen, maybe their biggest win of the season, they clobbered the Yankees 12-2 on August 12th, where Toussaint got his first win of the season. But it's freaky deaky. And August has just been terrible, ladies and gentlemen. The losses keep on coming. The current losing streak right now, there was a Rangers rainout. They've lost 7 straight. They got the Mets for back-to-back on the 30th and 31st. But let's look at the September. It's not going to be nice. They got the Mets again in the first. 3 road games to the Orioles. 3 road games against the Red Sox. 3 home games against the Guardians. 3 against the Athletics at home. Then 3 games against the Angels. 3 against the Padres. Return against the Angels at home. And 3 against the Tigers. You could easily lose pretty well all those games. Now, As it stands right now, the starting rotation, got Jonathan Cannon, Garrett Crochet, Chris Flaxen, and Davis Martin. Catchers are Corey Lee and Chucky Robinson. The outfielders, you got Andrew Benintendi, of course, Dominic Fletcher, Gavin Sheets. Infielders, you got Jacob Amaya, Brooks Baldwin, Nicky Lopez, Lenya Sosa, Andrew Vaughn, Brian Ramis, and Brandon Swinkie. Outfielders, of course, Oscar Colas and Zach Deloach. Now, who are the coaches on this team? Well, you should know better because you got Doug Sisson and Drew Bertero who have some talent, but it's just been terrible. Now, the injury list is bad too. Mike Clevenger has been out. Jimmy Lambert, Dominic Leone, and Jan Moncada. But, actually, ironically, ladies and gentlemen, pitcher Garrett Crochet won the MLB Pitcher of the Month for June after he went 101 in 6 starts with an ERA of 191, along with a .93 whip in 37 2/3 innings, while striking out 56, and Crochet has talent. Now, what's coming up in the system? Of course, you get the Charlotte Knights, Birmingham Barons, Wilson-Salem Dash, Canopolis Cannon Ballers, ACL White Sox, and DSL White Sox. So, I really think, ladies and gentlemen, that the franchise is not going to leave, but you can forfeit your last 30 games of the season. I'm not going to make fun of the White Sox because I've always loved it. But ladies and gentlemen, the weirdest comment this week. One of my friends in Woodstock, New Brunswick, he asked me what the White Sox watch when I'm doing this podcast. He said, Carlton Fisk must be rolling around over in his grave. I said, Carlton's Fisk is not dead? Well, he said, maybe he should be. All the White Sox fans, there's quite a few out there, the Frank Thomas era. There's a lot of good White Sox fans out there. I feel sorry for them. I'm not going to have pity on you because you played to win the game, sound like Gorm Edwards. And we've had a lot of teams with 100 losses. The Blue Jays, Expos, different teams, expansion teams. All I'm saying, just a refit. What you really should do, ladies and gentlemen, is get a whole bunch of international players like Dominican and European or whatever, play about 2 or 3 of them. And all those young players that Toronto has this year, Barger and Wagner and Horowitz and Jimenez and Baroa, maybe Toronto should give them half the team, half of those players, and call them, the Chicago Blue Jays. I'm surprised he never tried to get any talent, but I think the GM is giving up in this year because he knew that. But this is not like hockey. There's no guarantee you're going to go to get a good draft pick by finishing last in the league. Come on. It's not like Wayne Gretzky, Alexander Daig, and Mary Lemieux and all that. I feel really bad, but when, like I said, Cleveland Spiders and teams like that, big losses. But what's kind of funny about this, ladies and gentlemen? That's one of the bigger sports markets in all of America because as it stands right now, ladies and gentlemen, they got NBC Sports Chicago and NBC Sports Chicago Plus, including ESPN Chicago White Sox radio network covering the team, and like I said, it's been terrible. Now, before we leave you go, we're going to look at the rough stats, trying to give you a little bit of positivity if you're a White Sox fan, and it's been hard to find. So let's look at maybe some of the stats. We're going to be easy on you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just call it up because Baseball Reference never lies. As of this writing, 31 and 103, 5th place in the AL Central. Batting, okay? Corey Lee, 215, 10 home runs, 31 RBIs. Andrew Vaughn, a decent season, 15 homers, 59 RBIs, 341. Nicky Lopez, only 17 RBIs at second. Paul DeJong, again a good hitter, 1841, 228. Lenya Sosa, home run 4, RBIs 22. Benintendi hitting a porous 214, but 14 homers and 46 RBIs. And I think a very good prospect, Gavin Sheets, 8 home runs, 39 RBIs. And of course, Tommy Pham is on the way. But the pitching, Chris Flexen, 2 and 13. Garrett Crochet, 6 and 9. Eric Fetty, 7 and 4, gone. Jonathan Cannon, not a Cannon, 2 and 8. Drew Thorpe, 3 and 3. Michael Kopech, 2 and 8. John Brebbia, 0 and 6. Tanner Banks, 2 and 2. Justin Anderson, 1 and 1. Stephen Wilson, 1 and 6. Michael Soroka, the Canadian, 0 and 10. Jared Schuster, 1 and 3. And yada, yada, yada. Now, what's kind of ironic, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you take it the right way, Michael Kopech leads the team with 9 saves. As a squad, they have 18 saves. Well, it's kind of ironic, ladies and gentlemen. There are some good players here, but like I said, I think the GM just gave up. Now, as it stands right now, the attendance has been way down. They only have had 1.166 million fans this season, 13 out of 15, of course, in the American League. Here, of course, is the bad news. The team totals, okay, 108 home runs, 396 RBIs, a team batting average of 221. Rank in NL teams last in almost every category, but they're good in stolen bases. They're 8 overall. Now, pitching-wise, don't be scared. A 4.89 ERA, 31 to 103, 18 saves. Okay? They gave up 1,167 hits, ladies and gentlemen. 697 runs, which is comparable to almost, nearly 6, not 6 a game, but quite a few. But anyway, I can't even stop without laughing. What happened to my old White Sox of the 80s there that made the playoffs? The old, Carlton Fest. Anyway, I want to stop it here because I don't want to make fun of White Sox fans, but I feel for your brother. If you like what we're doing here with our baseball podcast, and like I said, this is kind of obituary because Chicago died this season on day 1, give us a like, comment, subscribe, or share. I had no indication that the White Sox were going to be that bad this year. They were okay last year, or lower end, second division. If there was a fourth division, to be in the fourth division. Thanks for listening. Bye.